Hey Woodturners, Captain Eddie here. I want to wrap up the series on sharpening. Now, I'm not quite done. I'm just going to wrap up this series because there's always sharpening. There are little cutters you use on your sorby scrapers and other things that will sharpen as we get around to them. But right now I want to touch base on a few things that I got through the email or the comment section. What's the difference between an Ellsworth and an Eversera? Well, you need an Ellsworth grind to do the Eversera grind. The Ellsworth grind is the elliptical grind. The Eversera grind, we remove some of the material off the back of the cutter or the gouge that we're not going to use for cutting. That's just extra material. And yet you don't have to go past that the next time you sharpen. It just gets it out the way. That's quite the difference. I'm working on some graphics for that. The 247, the 2 out for the tool, the 4 down from the wheel, and the 7. There are all kinds of other numbers out there. Well, where I got my 247 number is a set of documents I got from David Ellsworth almost 10 years ago. Now, if you'd like to take a look at these original drawings, sketches, and ideas on how to make your own sharpening rig to accomplish this, you just go to my website. Now, when you're on my website, go look for sharing information. That's where I put stuff that you need. On sharing information, look for the Ellsworth line, right there. That one. You'll find a PDF of a document that'll explain to you the Ellsworth grind from David Ellsworth. Got it? Okay. Now, how about a honing wheel? I had a couple of questions about, well, in one of your videos on YouTube, you said to hone the skew. Yes, I did. I believe honing the skew is a good thing, and it does lend for a sharper, better edge on the skew and less time going back to the grinding wheel or the stone. But that's a very specific use for it, and you'd have to look at the whole video to understand how it's done and why it's done and how you use it. So check that one out on that video. Now, a true dressed wheel. Boy, I caught 40 kinds of heck from you guys about me showing you how this wheel was true by putting my finger and my fingernails against it. Well, when it's true and it's spinning, it's an 80 grit wheel. It's like rubbing your hands across, my granddaughter's described as my face most of the time. Just rough, not abrasive, not damaging. All I'm doing is touching the wheel. I will feel the imperfections and the vibrations just as much as if I had a tool on it. But it was just a way to show you. That's not how I'll check it. And it's not how I true it. I true it with a truing wheel. And I true it when I feel the bumps and the chatter because it is stone and it will cut irregular and it will get dips and grooves and soft spots, hard spots, etc., etc. So that's when I cut it. When I true it, that's when I feel it, I true it. What's the difference between a deep V and a shallow V? Come on. A shallow V looks like a fingernail. A deep V looks like a deep V. That's the difference. How's I going to explain this? I don't think I can come up with graphics for that right away, but I'm working on it. High-speed grinder versus low-speed grinder. I said I bought a variable speed grinder and I only use it on low speed. Well, that's when I'm sharpening tools. If I'm making something, I might crank it up to the high speed, go over to the 60 grit side and remove a little bit extra metal. And when I'm dressing up things, that might be when I'm going to use the high speed. I bought the variable speed because I couldn't find the reasonably priced 8-inch low-speed grinder. And I found this Delta GR450, which I can't find anymore for some reason. I found this to be about $111 when I bought it. Now, I dated myself. So that's why I have a variable speed. And I do use the high speed, okay. Cutter tips on a bar. Yeah, I didn't include this in sharpening. I do have a little rig to where you mount the Sorby cutters, the round, the teardrop, the French curve, the little pointed one. You mount them on a bar and you sharpen them using your Blackhawk rig to pull a wire on them and make them sharper. I'll show you that when I do a video on using that tool. Otherwise it's lost to guys, and it's a real simple device to make. If you need it, I think I've already done that one. Now, I think that caught it all, except folks are saying, where are your videos? Well, if you go to YouTube and are looking at any of my videos, up in the corner up here, there's a little button. And that little button says, right there. See it? Alright, that button. You click that button, you get a screen that goes across the top of the band that'll just have all my videos in chronological order, all the way across. There's 101 of them right now, I believe. I had taken some down and I put some back. Somebody got offended by a term I used. Until I had the okay to use the term, I took it off, put it back, took it off. Alright, so that's where you find them all. They don't all show up if you Google Captain Eddie or whatever. Or if you're looking at Woodturning, they don't all show up. There's a lot on YouTube. So if you subscribe, that button's up here too. See that button? Then you hear about them as I put them up there. Some little bug at YouTube says, let's call Bob and tell him Captain Eddie's got a new one. See how that works? So, now, I hope the sharpening series, as I said, I'm going to wrap it up, but it's never done because you always sharpen. If in doubt, sharpen up. If it won't cut, sharpen up. If you're getting chatter, sharpen up. If the finish ain't right, sharpen up. That's it. I'm Captain Eddie Castleman. Normally you catch me making shavings. See you soon.